Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Friday, 2017-0127. In other words, Friday, January 27th, 2017. Numerically an absolutely beautiful date and a significant one. We know that physical bodies are, we know that denser bodies are beautiful bringers of messages, and while we have been used to considering these bodies as physical, all the data suggests that we are astral just like everybody else.
That's true.
However, there is a pattern that has been playing out this past week or 2 weeks where whatever is going on in the overnight when these host bodies are supposed to be sleeping, actually when they actually are sleeping, is creating physical sensations that are extremely unusual that these host lives have never had. They're both reflecting the symptoms, meaning quite obviously this is not about either host life, it's about something that's going on in the larger scheme of things.
That's true.
And at first, during the daytime, the symptoms would abate, and then they would flare again in the overnight, and then working the next day the symptoms would abate and they would flare in the overnight, and now they're not abating during the day. So it's clearly time for us to do something about this in a more targeted fashion.
That's true.
So our intention is to address the root causes of these issues and whatever they represent in such a way as to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. And with that, the formally videoed portions of today's efforts begin.
I'm claiming the intention that the interior of this pillar be sacred, safe, private, healing, learning, growing space. Sacred, safe, private, healing, learning, growing space.
Are they honoring that?
No.
So just
not at all.
Out them.
That's right. All these presences who are entering the space that we just claimed, literally just claimed, as sacred, safe, private, healing, learning, growing space, all these presences who are entering with any intention other than to support that, you're all criminals, all of you. All these people are criminals.
And you should be embarrassed.
And you should be super embarrassed. This is humiliating.
It's a travesty of divinity.
That's true. Live streaming up the identification. Live streaming up the butt prints. Their butts are all over the pillar.
They don't wipe very well.
No, these people, you're gross.
You're gross.
You're gross. Live streaming up way higher.
Basic hygiene is being overlooked.
That's true. Calling up to the amateur videographers way up high. Who can see this? Who can see these people breaking into this pillar?
They can see.
Can see it, and I feel sad nodding, and oh, this is really gross and inconvenient feelings.
Yes.
And now it's very quiet.
Yeah.
Stretching up higher, calling again for all those presences who desperately want the Lynn-Life host life to live her soul plan to join us in the pillar now. Very quiet, and there's that feeling of presences running up a long stairway to get away.
Yes.
So stretching up, following up, stretching up, much higher, and already it feels like we're breaking into that behind-the-scenes feeling.
Yes.
Where they don't expect us to be behind these doors.
Right.
No, really, higher, higher, calling up higher, higher, calling for any presences who desperately want the Lynn-Life to live her soul plan, and it's this soul plan right here to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. This one right here, see, it's kind of golden, kind of shiny. This one right here. All those presences who desperately want the Lynn-Life host life to live this soul plan right here, join us now. Oh, much running away. Much running away. Live streaming up to the amateur videographers way higher and stretching up way higher. Who can see this?
I only see backs.
Lots of backs, lots of backs, and scurrying feelings.
Scurrying,
and it sounds like
rats or roaches. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Live streaming up even higher and being reminded of that message about how to rats, ants are vermin, and how to larger presences, rats are vermin.
Yes.
Live streaming up higher.
And how to ants, both rats and larger presences, are huge, enormous problems.
That's true. That's true. Live streaming up higher, intending to reach up to those presences who see the rats as vermin. Higher. Restating the intention to heal the root causes of this back pain in the ground zero bodies, and whatever this back pain represents, in such a way as to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. What now? And there's that feeling again of presences running away, running in all directions, up, down, side, side, stretching up higher. It's very quiet. Very quiet, and I'm starting to see almost as if we're looking through a periscope, but an opposite periscope that looks down and not up. And I see Leo and Sirius 1, the smaller Sirius, and that 10-year-old Luce who is serving as the relay station. And they're in a place that's very dark and thick air feeling. And they feel awful. Like they don't know which way is up and they don't know which way is down. And all three of them are kind of angry and sniping at each other. And not really moving, kind of just stuck in a place.
Yeah, right here.
Yes, right here.
Which is close to ground zero. It might be in ground zero.
They might be literally in ground zero. Might be in ground zero. Leo, Sirius, Relay-Station-Luce. Can you hear me?
I see looking up. I see looking up.
I think they can hear me. It seems like you are in ground zero, at the level of ground zero.
They say that's impossible.
I know that seems kind of crazy, but in one hand, hold the vibration of ground zero, and here it is right here. There, and then in the other hand, hold the vibration just like of the space where you are.
They're holding their maps and they're saying, but we've been going up for a long time and we started above here and we've only been going up. That's what they say. That's
what they're saying, and I know it seems that way. What this feels like is that Stairmaster phenomenon that we've been seeing, where it's as if the dimensional layers are smooshing down, collapsing down into the muck, and if we're not going up the Stairmaster fast enough or effectively enough, we move down even though we feel like we're walking upstairs. That seems to be what is happening right now. And they're still saying that's not possible.
Yeah, they don't want to hear that.
They don't want to listen to us.
Friends, we're going to have to cut you loose if you don't want to listen, because you're hogging the message meter.
That's true, and causing pain.
Yes, and this is a message meter that's used by many, 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 many presences on many, many levels.
This is true.
This message keeps being delivered to you, and you're resistant to hearing the message.
Yes, this is true.
Live streaming up, who can see this is a waste of resources?
Many hands. I can see this as a waste of resources, and they're very vocal. I can see this as a waste of resources.
Well, will they cut them loose?
Will you cut them loose?
And give them a heads up. They're about to be cut loose.
That's true.
See if they'll pull their heads out of wherever they've wedged them.
You're about to be cut loose, friends.
You're not going to like how this feels.
You're not going to like how this feels. It's going to feel so unpleasant.
So much worse. So much worse. Please, please, please listen to us.
I don't feel any motion.
No, they're not changing.
Okay, so...
Okay, they have to learn it the hard way.
That's true. We'll just do an energy callback on energy to us.
No, ask those big people.
Well, those guys already said no, they're not willing to do it. They said, we like them being attached to you. Oh, it's like we can see them better when they're attached to you. It's also that periscopy feeling.
Oh, interesting.
They're saying, no, if we cut them loose, we won't be able to see them at all. They'll just be in the muck, and we like being able to look through the clear tube of you, and then we can see what's going on around you with our little bifurcators. They said bifurcators, but they mean, now they're saying bifocals.
Yeah.
Binoculars is what they're actually supposed to be saying. Binoculars is what
they mean.
They say, we're not going to cut them loose. That would be crazy.
Okay, well then reach up above and find somebody who'll cut those people loose.
That's good. Reaching up way up higher. Reaching way up higher. Calling for a presence who will cut those people loose. There is a hand. There's an actual hand who feels kind of like a thin hand, small hand. Will you cut them loose?
All of them
All
loose,
of
the
them
whole
loose.
kit and caboodle.
Yeah, all the way down this chain. I don't feel motion. Wow.
Look for a non-Vanovanov hand. Oh no, that one feels worse.
Horrible. Oh my gosh.
Never mind.
Wow, I didn't see that coming.
What now? In order to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do.
What now?
Well, what do I know? I know we could send the electrons and the neutrons up ahead of them.
That's true.
Clearing the space. Maybe they'll go up with them.
That's true. Let's give that a go. Oh, drawing up the electrons and the neutrons who really want to get to God. Come up through us, not to us, and go all the way up through this pillar as high as you can get. They actually seem to have a pretty okay relationship, the electrons and the neutrons. They're not being gross to each other. Mm-hmm. And there are even electrons giving neutrons a hand up. It's like they're slow, fat friends, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's a pretty good flow moving up, and I can feel it kind of behind where Leo and Sirius and the Relay-Station-Luce are standing. It's behind them, right behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Drawing it up. And Leo is saying something that doesn't feel true at all.
No, it's not true.
It feels like some kind of twisting of a definition.
That's not true, Leo.
This isn't true. It could be a twisting of a definition of integrity. Like he's saying, I have integrity because I'm not going to leave.
Run away from my post.
That's it. That's what he's saying. I have integrity because I'm not going to run away from my post. But that isn't what integrity is at all. And live streaming up higher, because this isn't just about Leo, this is about all of us. So Leo, the best definition of integrity that we have right now, and if you have a way to make it better, say it. But the best definition of integrity that we have so far is first the willingness to see what the situation calls for, and then acknowledging what the situation actually calls for, and then doing what the situation actually calls for. And that's what integrity actually is, and everything else is something else. And now there are tears in the eyes. I'm not sure if they're Leo's or somebody else's.
Mm-hmm.
Is what you're doing right now what the situation calls for? No. Shaking the head, no. No. I feel kind of sitting down on a rock feelings.
Therefore, is that something of integrity, or is it something else?
Therefore, is that something? No. Shaking the head already, no. This is something else. This isn't something of integrity.
Do you want to choose to act with integrity?
Do you want to choose to act with integrity? Snuffling feelings, but not moving. And the other two, Sirius 1 and Relay-Station-Luce, seem to be moving farther away. They're separating, there's drift. So Leo, what does the situation call for right now? What would this situation call for right now?
Go up.
And he's pointing up and saying, well, go up is what the situation calls for now. And that's true. And pulsing up
with the electrons
with
and
the
neutrons.
electrons and neutrons who really want to get to God. And here they are. You can see them blowing past you.
They're going up.
They're going up. They're going up. And see, they're making a path. You can kind of see the hole in the clouds where they're shooting up through. Mm-hmm. Shooting up there. And so that's what you can do. You go straight up. Go with them. Go with them. Do you want to do that?
No.
No, shaking the head, no. It's kind of like, I just want to sit here.
I just want to sit here.
I just want to sit here and be sad.
Leo, you're sitting in our backs.
That's true.
And creating pain, literal pain.
That's true.
Which is no big deal, except that it's hogging the message meter.
Yes, that's true.
Nobody else can get clear signals because you're hogging the message meter.
That's true.
You're messing it up for everybody. Do you want to be that guy?
Do you want to be that guy? I don't hear him.
I think he just went out to follow 10-year-old Luce and and Sirius.
That's true. And someone started to say Rupert, and I think that that's true. There are Vanovanov presences. They're just all wandering off together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What now? In order to heal the root causes of this back pain, and whatever it represents, in such a way as to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. What now? It's extremely head-clearing, and there's again that feeling of presences running away and being able to stretch much, much longer than we were before.
Pump up the electrons and the neutrons to pave the way.
Thank you, pumping up the electrons and the neutrons who really want to get to God. Up through us, not to us.
I think I have to formally sign a paper saying our contract with Leo Vanovanov is complete.
Yeah, this is true. I'll sign that. Oh, there we go. Feeling the paper.
Thank you, Leo, for all the
Thank you,
gifts. It was a joy working with you. We wish you the best.
We do. We
If
really
you
do.
ever want to do what the situation calls for again, we are here.
That's true.
Well, what about this contract where we were giving the Vanovanovs until February 20th? That doesn't seem to be applicable anymore.
That's true. It doesn't actually seem to be applicable anymore.
Let's see what they say upstairs about that.
What about this contract that we signed with the Vanovanovs that goes until February 20th?
But they aren't doing anything.
They're not doing anything. There's no motion being taken.
And their team just ran away.
And their team just ran away. What now?
We would like this contract we either want specific performance or
That's
we want
true.
the contract canceled. One or the other, they can't have both.
That's true. I don't hear anything.
Well, rip it up and see what happens.
That's good. We're going to rip this up now.
Oh, screaming.
Yeah, now there's
screaming,
lots of noise. Now
screaming.
there's lots of noise. But a couple of seconds ago, when we asked you, you said nothing.
Ask again.
So now what do we do with this contract with the Vanovanovs that goes until February 20th, where they're not holding up their end of the contract? And it doesn't look like they intend to hold up their end of the contract. It seems to us that this isn't valid anymore.
Now they're very busy.
Now we're very busy,
Start to-
and we can't talk to you, so I'm going to rip it up. And now there's the yelling again.
Screaming,
much
screaming.
yelling, much yelling, much yelling again.
Well, rip it up.
I'm going to keep ripping it up. No, because now we've asked multiple times very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Burn it. They didn't intend to hold up their end of the deal. If it's untrue, it will burn if our intention is only to burn that which is untrue.
That's true, and it goes up really fast, really easily. There isn't even ash left now.
Vaporizes.
Yeah, that's true.
In case that was a mistake, let's correct the error.
Correcting the error in case that was a mistake. I don't feel a shift happening.
No,
It feels much better, though.
much more clean. It's like as if the contract was never there, almost.
That's true. That's true. Oh.
Well, then what was the error? Was it trusting the wrong people? What was the error? Let's see if we can... What
Yeah,
was the
that's really
error? Help us
helpful.
understand. What was the error?